Students also have rights. Students have voices. Students matter.
At an Escondido Union High School District Board meeting last month, the issue of parental rights was hotly debated.
Would you rather have a living son or a dead daughter?
Some parents want their children to have the privacy to feel safe expressing themselves at school.
Such actions would violate the dignity of trans people.
Others argue that it's a parent's right to know what's going on with their children.
You're requiring teachers to lie to parents.
Similar to many other school districts, Escondido Union High adheres to a policy that bars teachers from revealing a student's gender identity to parents without consent. That aligns with California laws protecting students from potential abusive situations at home. But such policies are under attack at school boards and courts throughout the state. Recently, the Classical Academy charter school system in North County changed its policy to no longer explicitly forbid teachers from disclosing a student's gender identity. The charter school system says it did so under threat of litigation.
It fundamentally is about who really the child belongs to.
Dean Broyles is a constitutional lawyer whose wife teaches at Classical. He says he merely sent a letter to the charter school system to inform the board that its policy would expose it to potential litigation. Broyle is part of the conservative National Center for Law and Policy that urged the Chino Valley Unified School District in Orange County to adopt its mandatory gender identity disclosure policy earlier this year.
It's been our position that any policy that allows a school to keep secrets from the parents regarding their children violates the parental rights that's protected by the U.S. Constitution.
The Supreme Court has ruled that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution gives a lot of deference to parents regarding their children's upbringing, education, and care. But under California's education code, students have certain privacy rights.
That is the crux of the issue, what is more superior, a child's right to privacy or a parent's right to know about their child's life?
Family law attorney Jillian Duggan-Hurd says, with the Supreme Court's 2022 Dobbs ruling, it's hard to fathom that a student's privacy rights would be upheld by the court. The Dobbs ruling overturned Roe v. Wade, which had protected the right to have an abortion in the U.S. The crux of the Roe case centers on a woman's right to privacy.
But they did not apply strict scrutiny to that privacy right, which is the right to have an abortion and your ability to have a child and have a say in how that happens.
Since the Dobbs ruling, a surge of laws and court cases by conservative groups has emerged challenging school policies protecting students' privacy. In May, 2 teachers at Rincon Middle School in the Escondido Union School District sued, claiming the policy to protect students' rights to privacy at school over their gender identity essentially forced them to lie to parents, which went against their religious beliefs. Duggan-Hurd says the timing of these cases is not coincidental.
There's a bunch of strategy in it. There are a lot of politically affiliated groups that have interests on both sides of this argument. And I can see it from both sides. I'm a parent myself, and I can also see it from a student's privacy right.
The suit is fronted in part by the Thomas More Society, a conservative law firm that's been involved in lawsuits over abortion, religious freedom, and the outcome of the 2020 election. In September, a federal judge in San Diego issued a preliminary ruling against the Escondido Union School District, saying the policy is likely unconstitutional. The decision is under review by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Duggan-Hurd thinks the issue will ultimately be decided by the Supreme Court, and based on the current makeup of the court, she thinks proponents of parental rights might win, and that might cause unintended consequences.
How do we, on that continuum of things that can happen to a child within a school system during the day, what is reported and what is not?
She says it might lead to parents micromanaging the education system, dictating the curriculum to be taught to their children and excluding anything they find disagreeable, such as evolution. And caught in the crosshairs of this political debate are the students, who may not feel safe expressing their gender identity at home. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.